So what are we up to? Journal 4? Here we go. It looks pretty impressive when you kind of get it all laid out here, right? This is, it's like we're going to end up with 502 pieces. When I'm priming, when I'm doing 223 in bulk, 9mm ammo box trays actually work pretty well for hillbilly loading trays, and you know, keeps them all nice and compact and all that sort of stuff. So this priming guy here, I'm a fan of it. I finally figured out how to open it. It's kind of it's a bit of a rotation, so you kind of lock in one corner and then just kind of slide it around and you're in there. Primers do tend to get flipped around. I had one that I seated completely upside down with you know, the anvil pointing out instead of the cup. So it usually has to do with whenever you're taking a break and you set this guy down, then you pick it back up and things have got a little bit jacked up in the meantime. So when you're just doing it normal, you know, kind of doing your flow, buzzing through cases, it's not a problem. This thing has just the right amount of power, you know, like I feel like even the tough primer pockets, this is doing okay. Sometimes you have to kind of lay over a second thumb just to give it a little bit of extra. It's doing a really nice job. It's you get it too powerful and then you lose your feel for, you know, how the primers go in. So I think this is a good balance. It's powerful enough to do the job, but it's not so powerful that you don't maintain that feel of feeling that primer go home. So yeah, 3 more here. Let me buzz through these guys. The final count was 290 pieces of 5.56, and then there it goes. So yeah, basically the back 2 rows are the 5.56. That's 290, and then this is our 223, which it looks like it's 213. So that should make, yeah, a lot of ammo to play with. So, you know, this guy, like I said, I'm really I'm going to be using this guy a lot in the future, because I'll tell you why. It is incredibly easy. You slide this down, I think, or hold on. No, I guess you have to take this guy out, which is no big deal. This slides off, and then here's the other one for large primers. So this is an incredibly fast primer type change when compared to my my RCBS. This is the one I normally use. You know, very similar sort of thing. It's more of a, you know, a pistol grip style, where this is the thumb style, of course, but I've used this guy a ton. I really like it. It doesn't have shell holders. It's a universal thing. You just pop it in there and it automatically adjusts for size. But this is a pain in the ass to change from large to small, or vice versa. So it's Allen wrenches and crap comes apart, and it's a little bit more difficult. So what I'll probably end up doing is leave this guy set to small and leave this guy set to large, maybe something like that, which will make for a pretty convenient setup for me. So there's our, we got primers in. I think what I'm going to do, I'm trying to decide what bullets to use. My first thought was just to use, I've got a big box of Sierra Match King 69 grains. I think I'm going to do all of the 5.56 with these guys, and then these are 55 grain, Hornadies with a little cantilever on them and all that sort of stuff. So I want to load. I think I'm going to load the 223s with this, and then the 5.56 with the 69 grain Match Kings. I think I already mentioned I'm helping somebody build an AR, and I'd like to have some 55 stuff to shoot in it, see how it likes it. My gun's kind of picky. It likes the heavy stuff and doesn't shoot the lighter stuff nearly as well. So, yeah, I want to load up both. I think I'm going to use Varget just for all of it, because, you know, why not? I've got plenty of it. Looking at probably 1.5 pounds of powder here to get these guys done. So I've got plenty of Varget, so we'll use that. So now I just need to come up with some charge weights and stuff, and then go ahead and set up my powder measure, and I'll be ready. Just going to do these in like huge bulk. Throw maybe 100 or something charges, and then seat those bullets real quick, and then do the next 100 or whatever. So I'll shut off the camera for a few minutes, get readjusted, and get ready to throw some powder. Yeah, got some load data picked out. Going to do 25 grains with the 55 grain bullets and 24 grains with the 69 grain bullets. I've shot in this area of charge before and everything worked fine, so it's kind of a mid-range load. Should be good for what I'm looking to do. So I got my scale over here. I'm going to set up my RCBS Uniflow powder measure, because there's no way I'm measuring all these by hand. Kiss my butt. I got my beam scale as well, and I'll be using the pan from the beam scale so that get on there. Yeah, so I can double check things. So what I say, 25 grains. Okay, there's 25 grains. It's about 17. See what that does. Varget's not exactly the best metering powder. You get a lot of, you know, little hang-ups and stuff, but yeah, it is what it is. So that was 21.5. I'm going to come out, yeah, quite a few more turns. $25.9. $25.8, so that's about right. Let's go about a half a turn. $25.2. $25.1. About another eighth of a turn, maybe. Get my technique down here. I think two taps on the bottom's kind of, I think, the most important, because that's our cylinder there. I kind of like on the Lee, you know, I've been using that stupid little Lee for these other videos so much. I like on that one the kind of the rest position. You can just rest it to where it's not got powder sitting on top of it, and that seemed to help out on like that first throw accuracy, I guess you could say. That was 25.2, 25.0. With this guy, what I usually like to do 10 throws and see what my 10 throw average is. Is that 10 or is that 9? I think that's 9. Yep. No, that's 9. So that's 225. Yeah, there it is. So 249.6, which would mean a 24.96 average. I'm going to do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, anybody who's watching this and doesn't have experience with a powder measure, those kind of hang-ups I'm getting, that's exactly what people mean when they say that powders don't throw well. Quick look. So the granules of Varget are just very large, and they just get hung between the mechanism. So it was crap. It was just under 250. I forgot to kind of call the number there. 24.6. $25.5. $25.0. Yeah, that's it's got to hone my technique. 25.2. I think it's going to be 2 taps, a hard tap up, and then let it down slowly. 25.0. Let's see if the beam scale agrees. Perfect, right on the money. Down, down, up. That's the one. 25.0. Took a second. It was, yeah, 25.0. Sure the beam scale agrees. So yeah, I think this guy's set. It's nice and locked down. This is my load for the 223 stuff. So let's see. Yeah, I totally flipped these the wrong way, but I wanted to be able to see the primers as I was priming them. So that's okay. So with this guy, let's. And of course I screw up my technique on the very first one. It was down, down, up, and then slowly let it down. Muscle memory will kick in here in a second, hopefully. Okay. Nice case fill. Visual inspection looks good on all of them. The 55 grains. I like these little 55 grain. They've got a very small boat tail, and yeah, they do have a candler, which, you know, whatever. With it, without it, whatever. Same crap. I'll go ahead and finish these guys just to get the dies set and all that sort of crap, and then just buzz right through these things. Let's go over here. Using a Redding seating die. Yeah, these are, I think, one of the previous videos I bitched about. Redding gives you squat for instructions. But some of my other sets, what is that back there? Yeah, here's a 308 set. Nice sticker. And bullet seating. Redding bullet seating dies have a crimping ring that can be used to apply roll crimp. Blah blah. We don't want that. With the ram in its utmost position, screw the bullet seating die into your press until it touches the shell holder. If no crimp is desired, back the seating die one turn away from the shell holder. Okay, that's it. Screw it down, back out one turn. There. Tighten that guy down nice and tight. Back out our seating stem thingy. There. Okay. I went with Hornady's overall length recommendation on this guy, mainly because of, you know, the cannelure. I think their number lines up pretty nice with the cannelure. It was 2.200 is what they wanted for overall length. Yep, still about 30 thousandths long. I already went too far. Oh man. 2.190, so that's 10 thousandths short. Back this guy out just a little. Move on to the next guy here. Okay, 7 thousandths too long. think that's going to be it. Right there. Nope, didn't go enough. Still 5 thousandths long. I really like Redding dies. These knurled, you know, everything's set up to just be finger tightened, but man, it finger tightens really well. I don't know if that just comes from super sexy silky threads that, you know, that a finger tight really works, but it does on those. Beautiful. So that's 2.201 and a half. Let's see what this next one does. .196. These bullets really go in easy. 2.2. That was right on the money. $21.98.5. Okay, so now I do have a Lee factory crimp die that I do like to use on my AR stuff. If you haven't seen one of these guys before, see if I can actually. It kind of goes up in there and does a, you know, a squeezy. There's 4 pieces that just kind of come in and squeeze right there at the case mouth. It looks like, it looks a lot like some of the factory ammo you see. That this guy you just do by like visual, I guess. Screw it down until it'll start kind of crimping, and then you stand up and kind of look down into the top of the. Alright, starting to get resistance there. And then we just, let's go down like a quarter of a turn. See what that looks like. That is too freaking much. Back this guy out. Just a touch, and then tighten it down here. Kind of comes in right there around and gives it a pinch. I'm used to Seton Sierra Match Kings. I think this is, like the first one I did, it just looks really heavy. I could almost see a ledge there where it really came in and hit it hard. So I think I'm going to put that over here with my other screw up. But yeah, that one looks okay. What was it? 2.200, pretty much right on the money. And I don't know if it's actually useful or not, but I usually like to kind of give them some, just kind of do a setback test, you know, just make sure these things are, yeah, that didn't move a 0.5 thousandths. So, you know, I feel good that that's certainly crimped adequately enough to keep from getting setback issues. Let me run these other two. And that guy, let's see. Yeah, so that's a pretty, you know, you couldn't even see that a second ago, could you? Okay, here you go. But yeah, you can see the crimp there. Like I said, I'm pretty heavy-handed with the crimp for AR ammo. Probably not necessary, but it is what it is. So my dies are set. I'm ready to rock. I'm going to seat the rest of these and then just start dumping powder, and maybe I'll see you towards the end whenever we're switching over to the 5.56 stuff. I feel like a genius right now. I wanted to share. Or I'm an idiot and just didn't realize the obvious. But now I'm sitting here, you know, of course these are the wrong way. So I'm sitting here flipping these. I'm like, why don't I just grab another case? Go like this. Come on. It worked faster last time. Flip it over, boom, they're all turned over. Holy crap! Why didn't I think of that a long time ago? Come on, there. Alright, so yeah, dumping powder, seating bullets. I won't keep you any longer, but yeah, I feel smart. I just moved on to my next tray of 50 and I dumped powder. And as always, you're probably not going to be able to see what I want you to see, but this guy and this guy, these two right here, have got significantly more case fill than the others. So I'm gonna dump them and measure them while I'm dumping them. You know, it could be a, you know, all this oddball brass. It might just be a certain brand that has very small volume. Okay, there's that dude. Let's see if it's as heavy as it looked in the case. Looks to be like maybe a 1/10 heavy. Throw it on my Hornady over here. Hornady's saying 24.8, but it might just be that it might have lost 0. I haven't measured anything. Yeah, it was negative 0.1 is what it's reading. Let me re-zero it. So I think that was a good charge. So I'm going to throw another one. We'll see if it has, you know, similarly. Yep, same exact way. That guy's right up to the neck. So this is just a brand of brass that yeah, it's definitely, I don't even know this brand. Herters, HRTRS. So whatever. Well, still shoot it. Why not? And then here's the other guy. Okay, throw it in the pan. That one does read 25.4. 25.3. Let me see what it looks like on the beam scale. Yeah, that guy was a little bit heavy. 3 or 4/10. Measure this next guy here, just for the hell of it. 25.1. Yep. So that all looks fine. Yeah, we're good to go. Oh, what do I do with my bullets? There they are. It's alright, I'm just trucking along. Thought I'd just show you that funky case fill. Alright, so I'm just finishing up these last few 55 grain rounds. I'm going to have to dig out another pound of Varget. I think I've got more. Otherwise I may have to switch powders because the two containers I pulled out were had both already been opened and I didn't realize it. I need to come up with a better system for marking my powder, you know, when I open it. Just probably get like a paint marker or something, and maybe on each cap, every time I buy a pound, mark when it was bought and then mark when it was opened. Because yeah, I think everybody knows I'm easily confused. So that is 211 of those guys. Alright, shuffle those dudes to the back. Yeah, let me check on that pound of powder. Yeah, there it is. Alright. This is going to be 24 grains. Go ahead and go in about a turn. Make sure the Hornady is zeroed. Yep. $23.8. $23.6. $23.8. Open it up just a touch. $23.6. Tell you what, I don't really trust that. Okay, that goes on 24. Yep, showing just a touch light. Let me open up just a little bit more. Throw some charges. $24.0. Let's see if the beam scale agrees. Yep. Throw a quick 10 here real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 237.7. the 23.8 grains average, right? So dump powder everywhere. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 239.0. All right, so 23.9 grain average. I'll take that every time. Just fill this guy back up, nice and full. Let's see how that guy looks. Yeah, smidgen light. Yeah, maybe 23.9. Yep, I'm completely completely good with that. So, I'll tell you what, let me move a couple of these over here. Case fill looks fine. And the Sierras I was going to do to 2.260. Okay, so I'm going to back this guy way out. Pull it up in there. Yep, we're a mile long, just to be expected. Should still be very long. Yep, 2.33. Looking at 2.26. Still long. Still long. Yeah, a mile long. I'm just not going nearly enough. Okay, now this will be too short. Nope, still long by a lot. That's closer, still 7 thousandths long. Alright, I got a good feeling about this one. 2.262, I'm going to go ahead and try the next guy. little touch long. There we go. That should be it. That guy. 0.258. 2.264. Try this next guy. .259. Yep, right on the money. Looks good. So let me switch over to the factory crimp die. To be honest, this will probably, the same setting we used on the others should work. Yep, nice and light. 2.259. Yeah, 2.259. So it's in there good, crimped sufficiently. So there we are. These guys. Okay, absolutely good to go. So I'm going to burn through these guys and we'll be back for, okay, there's my phone. We'll be back for a final wrap up. There we are. 501 completed rounds. A lot of work, but yeah, should be a lot of fun. Everything went well with the bullet seating. So these are going to get packed up, and yeah, we're going to break in that new AR with them. So yeah, so this is not really the end of a series. I mean, this journal is going to keep on going, but this is, you know, this was my process for, I guess, bulk 223, you could call it. But we'll be doing a bunch of other stuff here as well. Some accuracy sort of stuff, some load testing, and trying different powders and different bullets and all sorts of other stuff. So yeah, this was kind of nice to get the whole process out of the way here with the first few journals, and then now we can dive into hopefully some more interesting, more complicated stuff. So alright, that's it. See you guys next time.